Thank you, Madam Speaker. You know, I've read in detail Bill C-59, and there are, as the last speaker mentioned, 140-some pages. There are some good parts to it, but there are parts that I have a lot of concern with, Madam Speaker. And one, the limits it place on the Canadian Security Intelligence Service's ability to reduce terrorist threats in Canada. It bothers me that we start pulling some of their authorities and some of their abilities to effectively make Canada safer for the public. And the part that I really am passionate about is it limits the ability of the government departments to share data among themselves to protect the national security of Canada. Now, the honourable member who just spoke talked about ISIS fighters coming back to Canada, and a government that's not going to take a strong stand, which should be taking a strong stand. But I wonder if he could just comment on the ability of our different government agencies to share information about these people coming back, or we just want them to filter into the communities.
The honourable member for Selkirk Interlake East.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank my colleague from Yellowhead for his question. And I can tell you I have full confidence in the intelligence gathering processes that were under Bill C-51 in the previous government, in the previous Parliament, that we passed back in 2015. That piece of legislation allowed for that information sharing between CBSA, the RCMP, CSIS, CSE. Everybody could talk back and forth, including the Department of Foreign Affairs. And I think most Canadians would just assume that that had already been taking place. And with government, everything always operates in silos. And so when we can level things off and allow information sharing to percolate through all the departments, we do a much better job of protecting Canadians, whether it's at the border, whether it's at the port, or whether it's on our own turf. And I can tell you, Madam Speaker, that the concern that I have with these returning ISIS fighters and this whole policy of reintegration rather than incarnation of these people, making sure that they're imprisoned, I think that is a concern for all of us, and that's why C-59 has to be studied in great detail with expertise so the amendments can be made to this bill so that this flawed piece of legislation does not actually become reality.